You know, it sucks a lot. Unrequited love. The feeling that you just simply couldn't get what you wanted or what you wished for. And in this case, romance. You know, me being an advocate person on the channel speaking about my love life all the time. The one person that still eluded me still is in my dreams all the time. Even much I don't want to dream about her anymore. I don't even think about her a lot. Okay, that's a fucking lie to begin with. I always dream about her, like nonstop. And think about her is becoming like a bad problem. Not much of a bad problem. It's just becoming I'm in the weird phase that I want to appreciate the memories I have of her, but yet I'm so desperately trying to cling on to them because it's the only thing I had at that time that made me I guess happy for the most part. And I guess that's my own price of power, the trade-off really. Because every now and again I just have dreams about her, having full conversations, being in love, being happy, smiling, laughing, feeling like there's some sort of fairy tale. And then I wake up realizing that it was a dream. I don't have that, and I break down a little bit, crying. Not like a full-on shower sob, but just more damn, I really wish I could have had that. And it bothers me a lot that I still feel that way, even though I stood no chance of even having her. Hell, I was shot down at least 3 to 4 times with the explicit. If I remember correctly, there was no connection. Hell, I was barely friends with this girl before before lockdown happened. You know, we finally just started to become friends, and even then that happened because it was my fault. Because I sabotaged the love life between her and somebody else. If I'm being a villain for a second, a very desperate, sad person with that. And I'm not ashamed to admit my crime with it because, you know, it all runs in tandem. It all goes full circle. You know, the backstory behind it is the fact that I knew her since middle school. At first we hated each other. She would kick the fuck out of my shins, and hell, she got me a scar on my eyebrow, which tried to claw my eye out, trying to be an edgy little goth girl. I don't know, from that point, it was like the Vegeta meme. Something just snapped, something inside me. And from that day forward, I tried to hang out with her every day, despite the fact that she just did not want anything to do with me. And then slowly but surely, as the years went on, my friend group mixed with her friend group, and then we all became friends. She became a little less hostile and demeaning towards me, and I was still giving her pretty much an open, welcoming hug and a smile. Not literally, but I was still the straight man, oh, good morning. In her case, she'll probably spit on my shoes and call me garbage. Not literally, of course, but that was the dynamic. Someone who was openly friendly to someone who'd rather not interact with me at all. And that happened a lot from middle school all the way to high school. Well, actually, how do you feel in the rest of it? Because during middle school, I think around 7th or 8th grade, the feelings became a lot more. She rejected me once on paper. I think the second time during 8th grade, where she went outside in the play area, and then showed me I was fucking with her aura and shit. And I'm just why can't you just? It's why don't you understand? It's what I wanted to say. Because in all honesty, I was dumb back then when I was young. Me simply not comprehending emotions and comprehending people, and just simply running off what I would perceive as normal. I thought I'd try to talk to her, human to human conversation. Honestly, I wish I could have told her, just at least tell me like a person, tell me like a man, well, not like a man, but tell me why. Is it because my rep at school is not good? Because context. I wasn't your golden boy in school. I was your little shit. I was your embodiment of a troublemaker. But it wasn't for out of purpose, I had my reasons. I grew up during middle school. I had a tough time at home. Home wasn't exactly the best place to be at. I fucking hated it. And me being at school, no one really kind of understood me or went out their way to understood me. They just kind of wrote me off as a psychopath and then just went on with their day, which felt alienating, damn near being ostracized, being an outcast. Except for the people who who were my friend group. They were the ones who really gave me a chance and saw that, yeah, I was just a battered person who just needed a friend, someone who could like confide to that wasn't a teacher. Which is not saying any knock as a teacher, because they did their job. But it was just like I needed someone on my level. Having a student to adult conversation is always going to just be just in a personal like school thing. I need like an actual friend to relate to, you know, someone I could feel human with, to sort of speak. But yeah, after that point, 8th grade, she became a lot nicer, a lot more human towards me. She said that was part of her trying to turn over a new leaf, trying to be more like, I guess, caring and compassionate, which was cool. I thought I finally made grounds. But then I realized that, oh wait, this is the same girl who literally trolls me with her friends all the time and fucks with me for no reason. I remember those days. Those were particularly fun days, despite being a pain in the ass. And then high school happened, and then it was just me doing like another 4 years of trying to fumble the bag with like heavenly charm and not using Riz. I hate to say Riz, but I tried, okay? It was Riz before Riz became like a cool slang. And I fumbled each and every time for like those 4 years. Until like the very last year, when she ended up with my current friend, well, used to be friend. I mentioned them in the video, but a long time ago, but yeah, like my used to be friend. It sucks that like, he grew to hate me now. Well, honestly, I don't blame him. Honestly, I wish I could have told him it was all my damn fault. I would be happy if he just fucking punched me in the damn throat. If he feel like I deserve some penance for what I done. But you know, he and her started making moves together, and me being slightly jealous, you know, wasn't aware of it. Not yandere jealous, but just kind of like, oh, that kind of like, you know, tinged my hide. That's like a little knife in the side. I remember distinctively when like they first like made their relationship known. I remember it very distinctively. Like it was like it's like burned in my memory. It was all having lunch. I think that's the same day I asked her out again, and it's like she pretty much adamantly told me no. I had my friend and his girlfriend comfort me. I was in like the library for a bit, trying to reflect on Lost again for another L. And then I went outside to go have lunch with them, just to be like, all right, let me just turn my heart off for a bit. Let me just be a little less emotion here. It's just rejection. I could live. And you know, with bonus context, this was like what, 3 years after my first girlfriend, my ex. So still kind of like, I think it wasn't desperately trying to fill a hole. It was just like, I thought I could find someone better than that, but that's not important. That's another tale for another time. But I remember when it happened, I sat down, I was macking on some of that good ass school cheeseburger and drinking like a Body Armor fruit punch. And I remember it happened, like she hopped in that nigga's lap and just started tongue fucking him in front of everybody, and everyone was well except for her friends who already knew, but people like me and like another girl were just like completely flabbergasted, just completely just balls to the wall, just shocked, just crazy, just like what? Hell, honestly, my outside expression was shocked, but my inside expression was like shattered. It was just like, damn, I really got NTR'd in this bitch, didn't I? I really got blacked. I remember that. You know, that's ironically the one thing I can still remember fully about those two. Beyond just vague memories and distant emotions. It was just that infamous day. I think from like at least a couple of months going forward, they'd be doing the same like risky things, and I was just there being the complete observer as I usually am, always smiling for them while on the inside shouting from the rooftop with visible discomfort. And I remember like my friend, like the guy who hates me, I remember he told me and another friend, that girl I mentioned, that like he was gonna drop her, and I was just like, why? And I came to the realization that, oh yeah, everyone's in school is making fun of him. Well, not him. Teachers are just calling him out because they're always seeing him tongue fucking this girl that I had a thing for. And they're like, oh, how about we should just get her so you could do better? And I'm like, damn, ain't that a bitch and a half? And then, those other allegations that I think I shouldn't say personally. Well, nothing bad, serious, but they're, it's just not my place to speak on some things. But I remember, just, I kind of got mad. Hell, it wasn't even mad. It was just like pure spite and yet malicious intent, which is something that was way out of my character. Because as I perceive myself on YouTube as the snarky guy who calls out Twitter tards and rants about shit and makes cap cuts all day, like, this was very out of my character. Because YouTube's a persona. Me, like, outside of YouTube and outside of, like, what you perceive me as, I'm like the sweetest person. Like, if I would, I'll be working at a goddamn, like, homeless shelter, soup kitchen, Goodwill, if I had the time and energy. I'm a very kind and caring person. I never go out my way to step on toes and be a complete soulless person for no reason. I'm not like low tier god bad or DSP. If I had like a comparison of how people think I am, I'm a bleeding heart. Like, but that's neither here or there. But back then, at that exact moment, I became someone I wish I didn't be. A selfish asshole. I was a monster and a half. I remember it fully. 100%. I remember that following morning I told her about what was his plans to do, and she broke down crying, distraught, broken. And from that, it just snowballed from there. It was just a complete nightmare. The guy who grew to hate me got ostracized and ridiculed and shitted on from everybody. I was scared to go to class with him that day. I was avoiding it like it was a damn nightmare, as if he's gonna beat me half to death. I even told other people I was scared for my life. Because me not being a confrontational person and me, doing that and blatantly having the I think I shouldn't have done that. Because the revelation of it wasn't my place to pick and choose where relationships should end because it's not mine. It was kicking in early, But from that point on, things just weren't the same. My friend went to go do his own thing. The girl I liked was sad, destroyed the entire time. Even though she invited me to hang out with her just to comfort her. I knew it wasn't because of friendship. It was just because she kept crying over him. She told me like she loved him. She imagined a future with him. Everything and all in between. And I just sat there looking like Homelander. And that one meme was in the theater, and they just hear the ringing in his ear. That was that was me the entire time. But instead of with the blank face, it was just me trying to hold back like the remorse I had, like the monster like I became at that moment. I destroyed someone's relationship for a goal that wasn't even mine, that I wasn't even deserving. Like, the hard part about me, to be honest, is the fact that I'm a lot more aware of my actions. I may act like I'm just a blank slate, but I'm aware of what I do, and I hate myself for it every day. Hell, after that point, once the lockdown happened, I never heard from either or ever again. Maybe random from the guy. He never showed any hostile activities. The girl was gone in the wind after like one last group chat. She was just gone forever. And then 2 years later, the guy who was my friend told my current best friend that he hated me. He had no friends because of me. And other slanderous accusations. And that was like after like at least a year telling like the guy just like, hey, I want to be your friend. I'm still your friend. Just because I don't talk to you often doesn't mean I'm not your friend. I'm still here for you. And it was just nothing. It was met back with nothing but disdain, nothing but hate. And to be honest, I haven't told my best friend about it, the guy I keep mentioning in my videos, but it still bothers me today, like right now. I still think about it all the time. I morally hate myself. I simply can't move on from things that I personally have, like unresolved conflicts. If it had nothing to do with me, I could wash that away like it was like a bad dream. It was something that happened to someone I know. It sucks for them, but I still care about them. But this was something that I directly caused. I caused this problem, and it haunts me personally. Hell, I even mentioned the point that I keep having dreams about her. I be having dreams about that guy too. Just constantly trying to keep fixing the problem. Constantly keep telling myself, don't do it. Don't say that line. Don't tell her the truth. It was not your place to speak. I personally feel constantly haunted by my actions, and rightfully so. Deservingly so. You know? But it just... I wish I could go back and fix it. I really wish. And I'm not saying that as I want to save my skin and do something what was meant to be done. I wanted to do it because it wasn't my place to speak on it. It wasn't mine. It wasn't me saying that shit. It wasn't my place. My place should have been a best friend who respected the relationship between two people, not someone who was filled with jealousy and bitterness over someone's happiness to break a relationship over my own problems. You know? It's just... I just can't get over it. Despite people telling me that it's okay, it wasn't meant to be anyway, and I'm just like, it's not that simple. It never was that simple, you know. So you just can't just simply wash off your own regrets and guilt and pretend that it's fine. Like, I carry so much guilt and interpersonal conflicts that it kind of eats me at my core. And honestly, me doing half the things I do today, whether it's verbally, physically, or mentally, is all just a coping, honestly. It's just a true coping mechanism. When it comes to school and my friends, I slink back into my old self, how I was back in school, as a coping mechanism. You know, we mentioned her, him, school, my ex. I go back to my usual, being the funny guy, the class clown, the complete jackass, the guy who will humiliate himself knowing that he will seek validation for anything as long as it was from somebody who at least pretends to give a shit. If it was home, if it was away from school, I slink back into my nihilistic form, my pessimistic self where everything was just a glass half empty. Everything didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm just a cog in the machine, meat for the grinder. You know? But it just comes about personal thoughts and quiet reflections. I'm just empty, void. I feel nothing. I don't know how to feel. It's just, I don't know how to convey the emotions right. Don't know where to go from there and start from where. All I just know is that I had it and it was gone. I broke it, so I can't fix it. You know, I kind of feel like that at some point, like, I feel like that at some point, I think I need to go see someone about it, you know? Because merely just bottling up all this inside is not exactly a healthy method. Which, shamefully, yes, as I've been doing my thing. I bottle up all my personal emotions and just personal afflictions and conflicts, problems. Because me being the people pleaser that I am, to tack on my personality more, I just don't ever express my pain. I don't ever express my discomfort or any opinion, really. It really just, well, whoever makes that person happy, I will slave away and do it. Well, a second question at all, you know? I never really questioned once about it. Just do my job and keep my head down. And I think that's what kind of, I guess, broke me at some point. Was all the bottle up feelings, all the empty desires, all the feeling like everything I did just ultimately didn't matter to begin with, you know? I felt like that at that point. I existed just to help people and fuck up things that I knew I couldn't have or didn't understand. I don't know, man. Just, that's what it feels like, you know? And with that girl, with her, the one who haunts my dreams at this point, like a reoccurring nightmare, with her, that's honestly my biggest regret so far. The one that I wish I could apologize to profusely, the one I wish I could have told that I was the villain of that story arc, that I did that shit. I brought ruination to something that wasn't mine, that's something that I should have been happy for. I brought the selfish desire to it because I was greedy, I was jealous, and and just an overall complete asshole to the situation. I wanted to apologize to my friend, but I know he wants nothing to do with me, so that would never be resolved. I feel like this would be more like I'm taking this shit to my grave at this point. I live by it and I'll die by it. Being filled with nothing but regrets, and no religion, medication, or even just man-to-man friend talks are just gonna simply fix that. To simply wash away what I feel, to wash away the insurmountable guilt I feel for all these things, for all these actions I've done, and for things that I know I can never fix. This shit will haunt me until the earth turns over on my rising corpse at least like 30,000 times. It will haunt me from here to the afterlife and to the next life over. I just feel like that's the only way I can. It's the only way I feel like I could pay for what I've done. You know, I could pay my penance in peace. You know, but that's gonna be it. I know this was like a really somber topic to talk about, but I did admit what I said. What I wanted to step away from just talking about Twitter tards and Twitter shit and people being dumb. Don't worry, there'll be a new flow of content similar to this, or hell, it'll be going back to Twitter shit probably in the next video. So please be prepared for that. It'll probably be less somber than this, and go back to being my usual, fake, strange self of just people are stupid, people are morons, don't trust people ever again. But yeah, I have been your lovely host with the most, and until then, I bid you adieu.